Now all you people, I want you to set those headphones down. Get up. I said get up off your chairs and sing it with me one time. One time. It don't cost nothing, but you feel real good. But here we go. It's the Humpday happy hour hangout. Yes, it's the Humpday happy hour hangout. Oh yes, let's all get used at the director's garage.
Yeah, line them up, boys. Line them up and pour them. Here we go. How you doing? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Humpday Happy Hour Hangout here at the Director's Garage Live. We are live in sweltering Los Angeles, California. Been gone for a minute because I had stuff to do around the house. I'll talk about that in just a second. We got a lot to cover today. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of ground to cover. I've got a viewer photo from Neil, by the way. Caldera. Open back. Why not? Because we can, and it was here. Did a lot of music listening in the last week, which was really exciting because I rehabbed my garage door last week. Which was why I wasn't with you on Wednesday. I was mid-sandering, and I was trying to get the garage door done in time to take photos for the realtor. And that meant skipping some things like a live stream when I would rather have been here with you. Instead, I was working these fingers, these digits to the bone, doing sanding and stuff. I do have a couple photos from that, but I'll show you. The issue is, obviously we're trying to sell the house. We want the house to look good. Why not? Who wouldn't? But, sorry, just checking on this real quick, making sure I got the photos lined up. Yeah, okay. So, where's the really good photo? Don't tell me I left off the really good photo. Boys. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'll go to the laptop of death real quick, and then that would still kind of help it make some sense. So in the fire, remember we had a fire like a couple months ago. Small thing, little tiny fire, Yeah, in the fire, the stain and the finish. Boy, you got to stop doing this, guys. Okay, the stain and the finish on the garage door peeled up. There's just too much heat. And so that kind of happened. Let's see if I can get some other photos up. So I wound up, the way to do it right is to sand it all down. And I was trying to save this top panel. I thought maybe the top panel up here would be salvageable because it didn't peel. But the job on it wasn't very good. The original paint job on it wasn't very good, but I thought maybe I can get a close enough match with the stain, and it turned out that wasn't the case. I just couldn't make it work. So I wound up, when I stained it, you can see in this photo here, the top section of there's more brown up here. It's just more brown. This is more of a red cherry, and I thought I had a close match, but it wasn't close enough. I couldn't pull it off, so that meant stripping the entire thing down, which I didn't really want to do, but I wound up having to do. Oh, that's a close-up of some of the bad finish on it that was on there before, and this is sort of the final. I think this is after the top was done. But I wound up sanding the entire thing down, and it came out really pretty, and it's now got a poly coat on it and everything now. So it's really nice. So while all of this was going on, I had headphones on, which was really kind of fun, because I didn't want to you know, you don't want to do that without music because it's hours of sanding, you know, and then you change grits and then you sand some more and then it's more prep than it is stain. You know, the staining part of it is the easy part. The hard part is prepping the wood and getting it just right, you know. So I went through the grits. I did 80 was what I cut all of the old stuff off at, and then 120 sort of gave it a nice rough finish, and then I finished it at 220, and which is, I could have done 180, but I did 220. Gave it a little more finer finish, and it looks really nice, and it sucked the stain right up and all that. So it wound up coming out beautiful. It did a beautiful job with the door, and it's so much better. And when you're trying to sell someplace, in our house, the first thing you see when you pull up is the garage door. And I'm like, if the garage door is all peeling and crappy, not a good first impression. First impressions are important. So I was using... I wound up using a couple of IEMs while I was doing all of my sanding, and this is the main one I went with because it's a good, durable pair of IEMs, and it's got ANC on it, whereas my other ones, I have the Nobles, which I've shown off 1,000 times on here, the Mystique. The Mystique has just passive noise cancellation. There's no active in it. It's just they're really pretty, but, you know... and they sound better than these, but these have the noise cancellation, which comes in really nice. The top apparently doesn't like to stay open. It comes in really nice, really handy when you're doing loud work like sanding. To have that noise cancellation on them, it just cuts it out a little bit more. It was really enjoyable. I listened to tons of Southern rock. I really went through like this whole Southern rock phase. I was doing like a lot of Leonard Skinner and Outlaws and ZZ Top and just all those great Molly Hatchet, like all those great Southern rock bands from the late 70s, early 80s that just, you know, were so great, and, you know, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. It was great music to sand by Allman Brothers, all of it. Very, very enjoyable stuff, and it was just a good vibe for some really monotonous and painful work. The hard part for me is on these things. I'll show you one part. These crevices in here, there's no power sander in the world that can do that. You're just going to chew it up and melt and change the form of it. So I wound up having to do all that by hand with just wearing your fingers and little tiny bits of sandpaper and getting it right, just to make it look perfect. And I kind of do that sometimes. I probably shouldn't, but I really take pride in trying to make things as nice as I can make them. So that was my whole last week. I mean, literally from Sunday through Friday. I worked straight through. I was so sore. I was dying. And even into Saturday, I guess, because Saturday I did do a second coat of poly. So, I didn't want to just half-ass it and get it mildly done. I really wanted to make it look nice. So that was my entire last week, and that's why I wasn't with you all. I had to get that done, and I've got more projects ahead that I've got to get done on this house. Just prepping it for sale, trying to get the most money we can for it, because every dollar that I get for this house goes into, it makes our life easier in the next house. So the next house I've got some other issues with. We got some reports back. There's some the house we were looking at. I think I'd mentioned it last time we met, that we were looking at a house on a lake. Beautiful, beautiful house with a boathouse and just a nice place. It's going to be a nice place to live in Tennessee. But the report came back, and there's a lot of water in the crawl spaces and up against the foundation, which is not some people hear that and they freak out and they think, oh my God, just run away from that house. It's terrible. No, it's a well-built house. The problem is it's a 30-year-old house, and likely whatever they did on the exterior foundation probably has worn off, or the weeping tile system underneath, which brings the water away from the foundation, may have failed. But either way, you got to do some digging. So we needed to go back at them. We went back at them with a counter offer today saying, look, I need about $150,000 to rip up the concrete and rip out and tear up the dirt around the foundation, get some fresh tar down there, some paper, moisture barrier, and then a rain shield, a rain diverter. And then you fill all that back in, check the weeping tile system, make sure it's good, make sure there's appropriate gravel down there, all that shit. I watch a lot of DIY guys. Sorry. You know, I know how these systems are supposed to go together and how you can keep something watertight. So a little bit of water and moisture, even mold, it's like you remove the mold. The problem is you want to find out, why is there mold growing? You know, why is this moisture coming in? The mold is removable. It's going to be fine. You know, you won't die from it. It's not good to live with it, but it's better if you can create an environment where it won't grow. On this house, we've got an encapsulation system where all of the vents to the outside are sealed. Normally you want the underside of the house to breathe. Not in this house. In this house, we sealed everything and we run dehumidifiers 24/7. And I think I showed off that I wound up servicing those myself because they were so old, I couldn't find anybody to come out and do them. So I did some troubleshooting and I saw how the system was put together. One of them was just a Freon recharge. The Freon was too low. It all escaped. So I recharged the system with Freon, made sure it wasn't leaking, and it's been working ever since. The other one, a solenoid that would normally kick on the compressor, failed. So I just found an appropriate solenoid that would replace it, wired it back into the system, some little dove connections, and boom, we got it all working. So there you go. That's sort of the house stuff. That's why I wasn't here last week. I've been doing some home rehab. I've got more to do coming up here, but you know, I just thought I'd fill you in on why I was. Because a lot of people were like, "What the hell? No, our live stream's gone." Sorry, I did the best I could. The other thing I want to talk about, let's see, we've got 2 new products on the market that just came out literally days ago. I think they're both pre-orders. One is, there's 2 DACs, and we're going to talk about those momentarily. I do want to tease this forward. We're going to do a little, I got to turn my little lighting on here. Oh. We're going to do a little, unboxing here in a bit, and it's going to be to show off this stuff. I have some merch that I have not opened yet. This is merch that I'm going to be selling on the Directors Garage store website shortly. These are more samples that have come in. I've been holding these just for you guys because I wanted to show them off live, and I'll walk you through what I've been doing with the merch line. Here's a demo hat. Oops, you got to see me. Why isn't it coming back? It's not coming back. There we go. Here's a demo hat that I had done. I'm rejecting this hat because I think this logo's too big, fellas. I think it's too big. I think it needs to be a smaller, more understated logo. So, love the hat though. I love the actual physical hat. So maybe in here there's one of the hats with the smaller logo. But you guys can vote. You tell me what you like and what you don't like, because you guys are going to be the customers or the potential customers for this stuff. But I think this logo is too big. I think it's too prominent. I want something more understated, classy, and small. And on the back, I really love that it says "Music is Life" in stitching right there. Well, I can show it on the overhead, perhaps. There. See how it's got "Music is Life." It's all stitched. It's all stitched. Really nice stuff. No silk screen on this. It's all stitched logo. But I just think this logo's too big. I want a smaller logo. So that's where that particular thing is at. Still haven't found the ideal polo. I'm looking for that. I have 2 viable t-shirt options. One of which I'm wearing right now. I love this t-shirt. It's a very thick traditional cut, and I've got a thinner material for the summer. And they'll delineate that. I'll delineate that on the website, which one is which, but one's a crew collar, and I actually like the fit of that better. It's just a thinner material. I tend to like a thicker, heavier t-shirt, but on a hot day, the thinner material is kind of nicer. So I thought I'd offer both of those. So one will be a crew neck, which is a wider collar than this. with a thinner material that I really like. I really like the t-shirt, really like the cut of it. Liked them both, so I'm like, I'll just offer them both. If you guys pick what you want, I'll be very clear in the description which you're buying or which you're looking at, and you guys can make your own choices. That's great. But we're going to open some merch here in a few minutes, but first, let's go to the DCS Lina X, it's called. The DCS Lina X. This is a brand new DAC. I'm about to show it off. Brand new DAC, just announced. And, oops, that's the wrong thing. Let's go to the laptop of death. There it is. The Lina X. This is it. Now, this is twice the width and a little less height than the traditional Lina. Lina was a 3-box system, and I can show that off if I can find it. Let me just call it DCS again. Sorry, that's from the Eversolo we were looking at. I'm going to talk about Eversolo in just a second too, because they're the other one. Okay, so here's the original Lina DAC, right? No. It showed me Boris. I don't want Boris. People, work with me. There we go. Okay, so here's the Lina X, the DAC X. This is the original Lina DAC. Little bit less tall. I should say shorter. A little bit shorter, and a little wide, and twice as wide. You can fit 2 Lina modules on top of this, and it will form a perfect square. And as you know, it'll line up perfectly. So, what's going on with this? What is this thing about? Well, it's the exact same DAC as this. It is identical. In fact, it's got the same screen, it's got the same touch buttons at the bottom, it's got the same menus, it uses the same app. What'd they change? Well, they added a dial on the front so that you can adjust volume through your DAC, which is fine. It's a good idea, not a bad idea. It's got something you can do digitally through the Lina and in the app now on the current, on the regular Lina DAC. They added an input for a CD transport. So it's twice as wide, you get a knob, and they added an input for the CD transport. And for all of this, it's going to cost you $15,000. When I first saw the price, and I heard that there's a new DAC X coming out from DCS, I thought, oh, maybe they took the clock module, which is a separate module, show that, which is a separate module here, and integrated it into this module, so you're getting a double wide, but you're getting the clock integrated. I thought that would be a smart move to make. That would also justify a significant price jump, right? No, they just added a knob and a digital input on this thing. Interestingly, the marketing on this is positioning the new Lina X as their ultimate streaming device. But it runs off the same exact software as the existing Lina. So that would make the current, the Lina I have here as also an ultimate streaming device because for just streaming, the DAC they're operationally the same. They support the same services, Qobuz, Tidal, Apple, Amazon, all the shit. They cover everything. So you're not getting more streaming features. And then I thought, for $15,000, if you're going to position this as the ultimate streaming box, well, fellas, I've been showing off stuff from Eversolo. This is a tiny screen, guys. This is a 2-inch, I think it's a 2-inch by 3-inch screen, and it's not touchscreen, and it doesn't show any graphics. So how an immersive network high-performance music player? I don't doubt the sound of it, and that it's not a quality product electronically and sonically. But the idea behind a streaming box is that it's a simple graphic way to display and call up your music. And the people who have gotten it right are Hi-Fi Rose and Eversolo. They're the best ones. I like the Nime stuff. I like some of these other brands too. But for streaming, I think that nobody's doing it better than Eversolo and Hi-Fi Rose. They've figured out having this beautiful touchscreen color graphic interface that shows you your music. There's no like VU meters or anything special on the Lina display, and I'm like, if you're going to position this as the ultimate streamer, you've kind of missed the boat out of the gate, and you're charging then $3,000 for a volume knob. Because this is, I think it's 12 or 11. I think for the Lina DAC, the regular Lina DAC, the DAC X, you're charging $3,000 or $4,000 for a knob and an input for a CD transport, not included. I don't know, guys. I think that's not a good value. That doesn't seem to me to be a way to do this. I personally, this is not enough value for what you're offering. Deeper connection to your music. Well, look at this is what the they're saying. Oh, here's a deeper connection with your music. Lina DAC X is designed to reveal the full impact of your music. It presents all aspects of a recording, from individual sounds to the subtle timing and spatial cues that bring a sense of space and depth. Well, okay, so to bring increased space and depth, you'd want the advanced clock, right? Not included. Right? I mean, shouldn't it be included if you're gonna do that? Like, why wouldn't you put the better clock in it? Same DAC chip, supports the same formats. You're not getting a format bump. All piece DSD 128, all the stuff that the Lina DAC currently does. This thing can do, and that's software anyway. For the most part, it's a ring DAC. So interesting. There's a play button here that there wasn't on the current Lina software. So assuming then that if this gets a different software, then there will be a software upgrade for the Lina that will do the same thing. Why are you paying all this extra money for a double wide device? Can't figure it out. Display is nothing special. It's a very informational display, but it's not, you don't get album art, and look how tiny this display is. I mean, it's small, fellas. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fanboy in some ways because I bought it. I bought the original Lina. I like the way it sounds. I think it's a very good DAC. But I don't know. It seems to me like you're not getting a lot of value here for quite a bit more money. Aluminum chassis, same as the other one. Ring DAC, same as the other. Like, these are all the same features that they're putting out here as, innovation. And I'm like, well, it's innovation in a grand scheme, but, I don't know, fellas. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So that's the first DAC that's currently about to ship, Lina DAC X. So I would say, to me, that's a miss. As much as I hate to see something that you buy for a lot of money upgraded, I'm going to get the software upgrade that one has. But it's I don't see where why you would charge that much more money for a potentiometer and it's the ultimate streamer. That means you should be able to push some buttons on the device and play some shit, right? And maybe that's what they're going to integrate into this, is some play features into the screen. But you can't like call up and surf and like go look for music. And that's what you can do with some of these other systems. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that they're doing it this way. I just thought that, you know, if you're going to charge $4,000 or $5,000 over the price of, or $3,000 to $5,000, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but if you're going to charge that much over the price of the standard Lina DAC, you should put the advanced clock chip in. I mean, they all have clock chips. You know, it comes with a clock chip. It's a good clock, but you can hear an audible difference when you add the Lina specific clock to the system. There's a sonic difference. You get more spatial dimension to it. It just sounds better. And people, I can tell you, I've heard it. I can hear a difference. And people who've come over here, I've done some A/Bing with, and I've turned the clock off and put the clock in the loop, and they've said, yeah, totally can hear a difference with the clock. It makes you wonder why they didn't just incorporate it to begin with, the better clock. But they wanted modularity, and I think that it helps sell. You know, they make more money on it by selling an advanced clock separate. But why not integrate it? If you're going to jump the price that much, put the better clock in it. You know, give me something else for the value beyond a volume knob and an input for pretty much a dead format in CDs and SACDs. Not saying that people don't use them still. I'm sure they do. I have a few CDs Legacy sitting around here, but it's not my go-to format, not in the streaming age, not when you've got Qobuz and Tidal and all of these fantastic streaming services that are delivering really good quality music, almost indiscernible from some of these other formats. So that was a miss. That was a miss to me on this one. But let's show you about it. Let's show you a hit. This is new. Get out of here. Audio 46 trying to get me some info. Let's show you a hit. Here's a hit, boys. This is called the Eversolo Play, and this is their new entry-level streamer. And if you think it looks similar to the A6, you would be right. It looks very similar to the A6. But it's a squared off, more of like a Mac Mini kind of approach in look. Full touchscreen, gorgeous touchscreen, gorgeous graphics, and a beautiful price of $700. And, oh, by the way, if you want to add a CD player to it, you can, just like the DCS, but for $100 more, they'll actually put the physical transport on the device. How cool is that? How cool is that? So if you still have CDs you want to play, you can buy a version with a CD player in it, man. Check that out. That's genius. That is freaking genius. These guys are killing it. Killing it. Comes in silver, comes in black. Trying to find some other photos here. Or maybe it only comes in black. But beautiful, gorgeous device. No fan, I'm sure, because it's got the heat sinks on the bottom. There's your CD tray. If you get the CD model, there's your back. And it's very similar to the Eversolo A6 that I showed off on this show not too long ago. You've got your DAC. Does it have... The only thing I don't see on this is... Oh yeah, there it is. No, it's optical. I don't see the USB in on this. So using it as a Roon, you're going to only be able to probably use it as a Roon over LAN. It looks to me. This USB down here, the USB 3 on the bottom, that's for hanging a drive off of it. Maybe the top one would work with your computer. I don't know. But it's definitely, you know, we're talking wired. And I would bet, I don't know if there's Bluetooth on this or not. Let's see if we can dig up some details. USB, speaker out, sub out. It's got HDMI ARC. Trigger in. But it's the apps. This is a great streaming box. That's what this should be. This should be a beautiful front end for your system. And as long, I would like to see a USB input to this, and that's the one question I have. And maybe somebody in the chat can fill me in. If there's a CD input on this, that's important, because then you can use it as an Eversolo Roon network node, which, as I described in the thing, is a very important mode to be able to go into. If you're just going in over Ethernet, it will not send you all of the album art and give you the gorgeous displays that the other Eversolo products provide. So, but for very little money, you've got a hell of a streaming box anyway. This is really cool. This is another solid entry from, and I love that there's a CD option on it. You can go $700 or $800. Just, you know, you want the CD transport or not. I mean, why wouldn't you take one? How many people don't have CDs? You don't want a whole other CD thing. You can just put your CD into this thing. How great is that? Fantastic. Another hit from Eversolo. Man, they're killing it over there. Really a big fan of the Eversolo stuff. And that's now available for pre-order on Audio 46 if you are so inclined. And there's a coupon code that would work for that, probably, most likely. I don't promise that because I haven't tried it, but you could use Director's Garage, all one word, and you could knock an extra 5% probably off that device right there. There you go. So those are the two main things. So you've got the Lina DAC, which is obviously, that's more of a higher end thing. 15 grand is nothing to sneeze at. It's in the upper echelon of DACdom. But when you look at what it's giving you over the existing Lina, I don't know. The A6 from Eversolo is a little less cute. It's a little more audio-y. Audiophile-y. If it has that USB in, and that's what this thing is lacking, then I would say I would probably go for the A6 myself, because of the difference in what the Eversolo Roon network makes when connected to a Roon setup, which is what I think these boxes do best. Is they're a great visual interface for Roon. I have one viewer photo to show, speaking of DACs, and as long as we're showing it off, and this comes from Neil Snyder. This is an SMSL Chi-Fi entry. I've got to find it, because we've been looking at photos and stuff, so let me call that up real quick. Over here. Where'd it go? Is it not there? It's not there. Hang on 2 seconds. Let me transfer it. That's this one, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's airdrop that on over to the Pro. There it is. Okay, so this is from Neil. This is a new toy he's picked up. This is we're talking about affordability. This is bargain basement affordability right here. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this tiny little DAC right here from SMSL. And what's really cool about it, it's very basic, and this is just over $100. You can get it on Amazon, but just over $100, you get a nice portable little DAC. This thing's tiny. Guys, look at the size of the jack. That's a jack, and it's half the size of this thing. You know, that gives you an idea how small this is. And then these lights that are around the edge on it that I'm showing with the pointer, these lights are your volume indicator. So they light up around the DAC as you increase volume out of this thing. just a really clever little system, and Neil says he very much likes this, the sound of this thing. So thanks to Neil for sending in his viewer photo. This is his new toy. And he's been playing around with this thing and getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. So this is something Neil bought that actually the rest of us can afford. Neil plays in the deep end of the pool. Like some of our other friends, man, on this show. He plays in that deep end. So I got to say, thanks to Neil for sending that our way. If you, and I'll try and find, maybe I can find it on Amazon. Can I find this on Amazon so you can know what it look? You don't know what it looks like. I think if you just put in SMSL DAC into a search engine, let's try that. Let's go over here real quick. Hang on, Amazon. It helps if I show you. Map. SMSL DAC. We'll get the exact name of this thing. Here it is. Lin SMSL M20. 129 bucks. 2 finishes, black or silver. DSD 256 PCM. This is great. PCM up to 768 kilohertz. That's amazing. And that tiny, and I mean, this thing is small, guys. It's 4 inches. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy what they're doing now? Kids these days. Let's see if we can get some photos on this. Great for gaming. MQA, if you're into that. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Nice little piece of chi-fi tech for not a lot of money. So if you're looking for a cheap DAC and something Neil says sounds good, I would definitely check this out, guys. And thanks to Neil for sending that our way. If you would like to send your viewer system to the Director's Garage live, and we will show it off right here on the air, you can send your thing to send your photos to directorsgarage@gmail.com. directorsgarage@gmail.com. That is my personal email. I try to respond to everyone. I'm not always great about it, but I do try to involve everybody I can and respond. And I like hearing from you guys, and I appreciate the community we've built here. And, we're going to get back to regular stuff as soon as I can get through that. Boy, I'm in a season right now, boys. Lost the job in September, have been scraping by, kicking out shows when I can, but trying to focus on finding a job. And then we decided we're just going to move. So now we're trying to get the move coordinated. I did a walkthrough with a mover to get an estimate this morning on moving us out of here and getting us to Tennessee. Home inspection was this week on the other place. We had photos. We had more photos taken this week because the photos that the first photographer took were terrible. Really made the house look bad. I'm like, how do you make this house look bad? It's beautiful. And they did. So we had to have the photos retaken this week. It's been a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm also still working on our next Director's Garage Hangout guest. I'm working with HiFiman to try and get a rep. I'm really focused on them this month. I want to make this happen, but it just seems like every time I get closer, I missing it by that much. And I'm like, I want to make this happen. So let's go through some chat, and then we're going to open some boxes. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot to do today. This is a really fun one, and I want to do some extra time and spend some time with you guys. It's been a while since I've hung out with y'all, and I love doing it. It's one of my favorite things about doing this channel is the live streams and the hangouts and things like that. Cheeky Fest says, here but not for long. Sorry, buddy. But cheers. Welcome. Kevin says he's got 30 minutes until his dailies session, enough time to say hi on his birthday. Well, happy birthday, Kevin Jock. If I didn't catch you in time, I apologize, but you can watch this on the replay. Us saying, raising a glass to you across the internets, wishing you a happy birthday, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. It is Wednesday. It looks good. You were listening to Sandy Denny. Very nice. Very nice. Good play. Good play. Yeah, it was painted black. There was a lot of painting, the sands of time kind of thing. But it was Southern rock, man. I really got into that. It was so much fun, and I love all those bands, Leonard Skinner and Outlaws and just Allman Brothers. And then I went to Texas for ZZ Top, and oh man, such good stuff. And I was listening to a lot of live music. That's the other thing. Even listened to Ted Nugent. I listened to Double Live Gonzo. Remember that? That was one of his big breakouts. Was that 70s was an era where live albums dominated. If you were, in fact, some of the live albums outsold most bands' studio records. Perfect example would be Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive. Frampton Comes Alive was a huge, monster, mega album that was live. Kiss Alive was huge. It was bigger than any of the, I think it was bigger than any of their studio efforts. Cheap Trick, live at Budokan. Bigger than any of their studio records, maybe until Dream Police. I think Dream Police may have outsold it, but not by much. At Budokan is a phenomenal, maybe not sonically the best I've heard, but it's a phenomenal live record. And you hear all those high-pitched screaming Tokyo young girls at the band at their prime, and they're singing, I Want You to Want Me, and Ain't That a Shame, and Need Your Love, and Surrender. I mean, it's just everything. It's just amazing. The live record mania of the 70s is something we've not revisited really since. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, maybe DVD has replaced it, so people just watch the DVD of Taylor Swift live. But I'm like, the live album was a mega thing. Get Your Yayas Out from the Stones came out. There was just phenomenal 1970s live albums. So many of them. Live Bullet, Bob Seger, Live Bullet, and then he followed it up with Nine Tonight. Both exceptional recordings too. There are the list of live 70s records is long. Wings Across America is long, and it was a glorious era for live music. And so Skynyrd, I was listening to One More from the Road, which is one of the best recorded albums of all time for a live record, certainly, and many gold pressings and special releases of that, because it was such a good recording, have been made. You've got, I'm trying to think, Supertramp Paris came out. That was a good live recording. You can go back a little bit. Who Live at Leeds came out. That was earlier 70s. That was a great live record. Just put your favorite live record down in the chat. What do you go for? What's your go-to when it goes to live stuff? And then you think about it, and I'm like, I can't think of a live Michael Jackson record. I can't think of a live Prince album. I can think of some bootlegs and stuff that came out and some concert videos, but I can't, like the groups that came later. I think live recordings made a comeback in the 90s as acoustic live, because there was that whole unplugged movement, and REM and Nirvana and everybody, Paul McCartney, Stone Temple Pilots, everybody did a live session for MTV Unplugged. So that kind of brought live music back a little bit. But as a recording and released format, tell me what's your favorite, what's your go-to for live, right? I would say, given my recent activity, certainly Allman Brothers had some of the more classic ones, Live at the Fillmore, and then what was the other one they had? Idlewild. Both live recordings that were fantastic. So there you go. Hipster Cow says, howdy gents, got to see the new DCS Lina X at Munich this past weekend. How did that go? How was that, Hipster? What do you think? Did it impress you? It seems to me like I'm not getting a lot of value here over the regular Lina. You're paying that much money for just a CD transport import, which is a input, which is kind of a dead medium, and then or semi-dead medium anyway, and then you get a volume knob. And I guess CDs are making a comeback, but so are cassettes. I mean, everything comes around again, but vinyl is still the retro format, I think, of choice. Tape has started to make a surge, but you got to get people willing to buy an expensive deck like this, you know. GFest says, pieces of wood, Steve Reich. Going for the pun, the music pun. 30-year-old house is new around here. I know. So isn't it the truth? But I think some stuff has failed on it because there was some moisture in that thing. In the house we're looking to buy. So we had to counteroffer and ask for a huge discount because I'm gonna have to do some digging, boys. And the digging, you know, it's gonna be $50,000 to dig out around the foundation and reseal that, if that's what's going on. And I think it is, if I know homes a little bit. Ever watch Tim Allen's Home Improvement Show? Well, I saw the comedy, the comedy series back in the back in the 90s, of course. Everybody saw that. That was fun. Goofy show. But that was all takeoff on Bob Vila and This Old House. But I'm more of a homes on homes guy. I like somebody who shows me how to do things the right way, and then that's how I sort of do things myself then, because I want them to come out right, and find the best way to do them. How are you? Oh, let's see. GFest says, how are you getting them sold? Oh, are you using made-to-order platform? I've got for the merch line, which we're going to show off in just a few minutes. We're doing a number of things and different platforms. I'm using a lot of different stuff because I'm looking for the best products. I don't want to put. I showed off 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago some merch that I'm not using, that I'm not selling. Because the quality isn't there for me, and it's got to have the quality. It's just not. It's got to bring it, because I don't want to sell you something that I wouldn't want myself. And this shirt passes. I love this shirt. I've worn this shirt a bunch of times, and I like the sister shirt to this, the thinner shirt that's got the wider collar. Love that. That's a hit. I've got 2 polos in-house. This is cotton. Biggest complaint on this is that the logo is too big. I want a smaller logo. I want this size logo, not this size logo, fellas. This is too much. I want something smaller and understated. That's for starters. Not a huge fan of this. It feels thin to me. And this one is the right material and the right logo for a polo. Perfect size logo. But I'm not thrilled with the cut of the sleeve. I would want the sleeve to tuck in a little more. And so I'm being persnickety about that. That said, let's see if I can do this, and this is kind of going to lead us into our next segment anyway, which is unboxing all this shit. No, though. There we go. This fabric, can you make this out at all? I don't know if you can make it out, but this is a very good fabric. It's a cross-stitched 2-ply. Maybe I'll make this work. This is the leading polo right now. This is just a cotton weave. It's a t-shirt material. I don't like it for a polo. It's too flimsy. The collar doesn't stay. Look, The collar's not going to hold form very well, I don't think, because it's flimsy. And I'm really looking for a quality polo. So I don't think either of these have passed, although this one's the closest. But I'm still looking for the right polo. That's important to me. Holly is asleep under the desk, for those interested. And again, I said the hat, the logo's too big. I think. If you disagree, let me know in the chat. If you think that the size of that logo is good enough. I think that this stands out too much. I want an understated. I want a smaller. I want this size here. I want something maybe a little bigger than that on the hat. I don't want this. It's too pronounced. It's too obnoxious. So, but I love the logo. I agree, Anthony. I think the logo itself, I've worked hard on that. I think that that's where it needs to be. Cheers, brothers. Love the show. Mr. Dynamite, love the effort. Keep on trucking, brother. Hello to everyone else out there. Well, thanks for stopping by today, my friend. Cheers to you. Glad to see you. Miss M. Orange. Cheers, M. Orange. Have you been here before? Everybody raise a glass to M. Orange. From a lost land, unless they revamped the board, they didn't. It's a repackaged box that's likely easier set up for tooling and cheaper to make. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously they did revamp the board somewhat, because when you look, and this we're talking about the DCS Lina X, because the existing Lina is a perfect fold into up into the square form factor. And if you see the inside of this, there's almost no room inside this thing, because the circuit board they took a first circuit board and they folded it and put ribbon connectors between the boards, and that's how the current Lina is designed. So having more real estate, they're probably able to make a larger board, and they did have some internal shots of this, so let's see if I can find them. Come on. Here we go. So you can see it's not the same board, because this is half height. So they do have some folded boards in there like they do on the Lina, but they're half height, and then they've added some circuitry. So to be able to handle the external, what do you call it? The external, pardon me, the CD transport. So that was something else they added as direct wiring on the board. I just am not sure that. I don't think it was a cheaper, easier. I just don't know that they've given me enough value for what it is. Again, if you're going to do that and you're going to position this as the ultimate streaming box, you need to upgrade the screen, make the screen truly touch screen, not 4 touch buttons, soft buttons at the bottom, and up the graphics on it, and make the screen bigger, for sure. The screen's too small on the Lina as it is. That's my one complaint on it. Sonically, it sounds great. Hey, it's a great box. But, you know, when you're facing, would you rather, let's play the would you rather game. Would you rather this, that is not touchscreen and you have to navigate through menus by touching one of these 4 dots on the bottom? Or would you rather this, a graphical touchscreen that is a delight to use and shows you all of your album art and graphic representation of your audio signal in VU meters and all kinds of shit? Which would you rather have? Well, I'd rather have the other one. Well, what's the difference in price? Oh, $14,000. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Although I'm sure the Lina, sonically, the Lina probably runs circles around the Eversolo. I know the A6 doesn't compare. It's not fair. It's not a fair comparison. But there are things about the Eversolo that I like more than the Lina at 14 times the cost. You know, whatever. It's absurd. Hipster Cow says, I do not know why DCS chooses to go with external clocks, especially when they've been shown to be unilaterally, say it in English, Michael, worse than integrated clocks for jitter. I don't know that that's true, though, Sajan. Because at least sonically, I can hear a clear difference when I put the clock in the loop here on the Lina. I'm using two very high-end cables. They were to connect it. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I've always thought in the digital world you're either getting zeros and ones or you're not. But I did, for the sake of argument, put a very nice set of cables, jumpers. There's two lines, so you've got redundancy. And I can hear a sonic difference when I put the thing in the system. Why they choose to go with external clocks? Well, as I said, there is an internal clock in it already. It's just this is an upgraded clock on the outside. But they still show this thing in some of the press photos. They show this thing with the rest of the Lina stack, which is the amp and the DAC. I'm sorry, the amp and the clock. So clearly they're not thinking about this. Sorry, I'll show it in a second. They're not thinking about this to replace the clock aspect of it, and it's got the dual word clocks. I'm talking like in Spanish today or something. It's got the dual word clocks into the device, so it's set up to accept the Lina clock. I just don't know. I'm like, what's the point here? What am I missing? Coming in June 2025. I don't know, fellas. I don't get it. So, but it's an interesting discussion for sure, and I welcome it. And thanks, Sajan, for your comments as always. Cheers all. Ryan Dietz in the house. Nice to know. Mr. Modhouse. Nephilim81. Hello, my friends. Going to be adventuring into more fun-fi. Going to get the Apos Gremlin and use it as a transportable amp. Already have plenty of 6922 variants, so he's all set. Power supply, he'll upgrade soon. Nice. Fun-fi. This isn't... We're not supposed to have fun here. Hipster, right? Not wallet busting. Yeah, well, that's that, and that's the thing that Neil showed off, was that beautiful little SMSL, nice little number. Very good. Came for sound, left a horologist. I love it. See, Neil can do it. I can do it. Sorry about the job loss. Been tight everywhere. Oh yeah, it's been rough, man. It's everybody's been going through it out here. A lot of my friends, also in the industry, are suffering the same fate right now. The market has dried up. There's very little film work being done in LA right now. They're shipping it all over the world. And it's rough. It's rough. It's not great. Hipster Cow says Nephilim Neil is having fun. It's at our expense. Wait, sweet pointing. That's a Ted Nugent reference. He did a. There's a song on Double Live Gonzo that's Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. But maybe he put in Poontang and it came out pointing. So good. Getting into those live record recommendations. Hipster, you're the best, man. I knew you'd understand. JTB, Need Your Love is a very underrated Cheap Trick song. Cool vibe to it. I agree. Zeppelin's song remains the same. Soundtrack from the movie is cool. Yeah, I don't... Here's the thing about that. I mean, it was obviously a staple. Everybody listened to that album when we were younger. But the recording itself wasn't very good, I didn't feel. Like the actual physical recording, it's a very tinny, thin-sounding album from them. I don't think it holds up well against some of the other great fidelity recordings of the 70s. If you're looking for a great fidelity and Zeppelin at their prime, I would push you to How the West Was Won, which is their series of concerts in LA in 73, I think it was, and it came out later. It came out in the 2000s, I think. So check that out, because sonically those sounded better to me than, and believe me, I mean, I'm a huge Zeppelin fan, and Song Remains the Same. I have 2 different versions of it on vinyl, and then a bunch of versions of it on digital too. It's core. I just don't think that sonically it stands up to some of these other recordings like Live Bullet and some of the other live albums that came out at the same time. I don't know if they were just not using great mics, or if the mic technique wasn't very good, or the recording wasn't. Something's weird. Gratitude by EW and F. What's Gratitude? EW and F. EW and F. Somebody play that out for me. Okay, favorite live record right now is Struns and Farrell live. Ooh, okay. Copying and pasting into my show notes. Something to listen to later tonight, my friends. There it is. And I'm going to check out Gratitude, EW and F. Love this. This is a great little sidetrack. I love this topic. Live albums to listen to, boys. You've got a bunch of recommendations today. Things must listens for tonight. This is an expertly recorded live album for acoustic guitar. Came out in 1997. If people love Friday Night in San Francisco, oh yes. Right. I'm game. I'm going to check this out for sure. I would also say, if you like acoustic music, if you're looking for that, Eric Clapton Unplugged is one of the best of the MTV Unplugged, and that came out as a live record and was very popular. Neil said, I thought I'd experiment with a second DAC. He just paid for a Rockna Wave Dream reference DAC. He hopes he likes it. Very cool, Neil. Very cool. Send us photos when you get it in, though. I want to see it. That's awesome. Neil, I love your chicken feed experiments. He's talking about your cheaper stuff, Neil. He likes when you play in the shallow end of the pool. It's stuff we can all afford. And cheers to that. Cheers to you, Neil, man. You just crack me up, man. Ryan Deeps, Hipster Cow. What were the highlights for you at Munich? I wish you could have gone. Ooh, that's a good question. Sajan, if you're still in the audience, give us your highlights. I'd love to hear your take on it. Anthony37, he says, even likes the logo size. You don't want it too small on the hat. Probably better off bigger size than too small. His son has done hats and the logo is too small. Definitely get a sample. Well, I'm hoping that's one of such examples is in the boxes we're going to dig into in just a few minutes. Here, fellas. Oh, that's the wrong source. How many switcher mistakes will Michael make today? That's a beer game. Drink. But I've got some samples here, so we're going to dig into this in just a few minutes and see what samples have come in. It's fun to open shit live on the air anyway, so it's just fun to do. So I thought, why not show it off to you guys first, and you guys can kind of vote or give your ideas, you know? Hate having a screen. M Orange says, I hate having a screen at all past the point of notation and navigation. To me, it distracts from his session and allows him to lose the plot of what should be sitting down to an album or a set. And what I like about these, I'm going to use the Eversolo as an example, and I have no say, like I don't have a stake in this. Eversolo didn't send me anything. I got a demo unit from Audio 46 to review, which I sent back, and I said if I could buy it, I would buy it. You can tone down the display to be just album art, and what I like about it is I've got a quick visual reference to what I'm listening to. Now, if I want a flashy, obnoxious display, it's got that too. It's got VU meters. It's got graphical, watch that episode. It'll show you all the different modes. But I can also just tone it down to the cover of the album. And I like having that visual. It's a calming reference in this age when we get nothing tangible with our music anymore. To be able to look at an instant and get the album art and go, oh yeah, it reminds me of what I'm listening to. I like that. Most of these work best off of a tablet anyway, so I don't know about navigating for music on it. But the DCS DAC has almost no navigation. In fact, it has zero navigation for finding music on it. You have to use the app. It's the only way to get through it. And the stuff on the display, I mean, it's functional. It's fine. And, I'm somebody who's obviously enough of a DCS supporter that I bought 2 devices of theirs, and they were both outrageously expensive. I paid a fortune to get into this DAC. I'm happy with it. I think it sounds good. I think it sounds really good. I think it's a nice balance between the analytical, clinical sounding chord sound, which if you love detail and like hyper detail and you want to hear every single little bit, that's what the chord will do. The Dave with the M scaler, the TT desktop with the M scaler, phenomenal. You'll get all the details, all of it. If you want a little more warmer sound and you want something that's more, romantic and musical, then I would say, well, that's when you look at the Mala Mala, you look at some of the higher end stuff. The DCS seems to sort of be a middle ground. It doesn't sacrifice too much into the warmth and softer sound, and it doesn't lean too much into the over analytical sound. I think the chord was too much for me over time. I've had a lot of gear in here. The chord was too much for me over time. I realized as I listened to some different things that I wanted something that was a little more laid back and a little less aggressive of a DAC. And maybe I could have found it on the chord if I had played with more of the filters. And I did try to go through them, and I found the settings that I liked most on them. But this is a beautiful balance. I mean, DCS has made an incredible product in this Lina stack. I think the amp is a little underpowered for the price, and given that it is nearly $10,000 it's $8,000 for the amp, the Ray Samuels amp makes a lot more sense for me, and it does E-stats at the same time. So I kind of went that route, but I understand people who like different amps and setups with it. I just think that the Lina is a really beautiful sound, and I have no complaints about it. But it's not the greatest display I've ever seen, and for the money, I would like the option of a graphic display or a very simple toned down display. Why not do both? You're making enough money off of this thing. A small screen, you could make the whole front panel a touch screen. You can do it. It can be done. I know these guys are smart engineers. You didn't need to do this. You could have made the whole front panel of that thing could be a graphic, beautiful color touchscreen. Why not? Why not? You're worried about price? This thing's $10,000 already. You're worried about price now? You know what I mean? You get the gist of what I'm saying. You could do so much more graphically with it. Anyway, or turn it off. There's an off button for it too. You can darken all these screens. The Eversolo, there's an off button. You can just let it be dark if you really want to focus on the music. So anyway, those are my arguments. Anyway, cheers everybody. Neil Snyder. Wayne Newton live at Madison Square Garden. I don't know if I've heard that recording. At Mr. Kelly's by Sarah Vaughan. Kiss Alive 1 and 2, absolute JTB. Rush exits stage left. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Gil Renard, My Funny Valentine live at Pookie's Club 1967 by Elvin Jones. Ooh, going deep, more into the jazzy side of things. JTB, Hot August Night, a double live by Neil Diamond. Guilty pleasure, discovered it from his parents playing it. Absolutely. Hey, Neil Diamond is, like Barry Manilow, Neil Diamond is kind of a punchline by, I think, in 2025 in some ways. But go listen to, like, Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show or Holly Holy or some of that other stuff. Sweet Caroline, it gets too overplayed because of the thing that they do in Detroit. And, it's like Journey's Don't Stop Believing. It's like it's just played too much. But go listen to that music. It's really, it's hypnotic. I'm right with you, buddy. I'm a Neil Diamond fan. I'll still go deep on Neil Diamond every now and then, just for the fun of it, just for nostalgic sake. I can remember laying on the kitchen floor, listening to a transistor radio of Neil Diamond playing, Song Sung Blue or whatever was playing. He did some amazing recordings. He was one of the hottest things in the world, and Barry Manilow too. There's some sappy stuff, but there's some fun stuff too. There's some fun stuff from Barry Manilow. I have no gripe against anybody who likes Barry Manilow. And he's not my go-to, but I still appreciate. I can appreciate what somebody else would hear. And oh, I'm sorry, buddy. You shifted. Handsome boy. Handsome man. Sorry, bud. And that's one of the one of the best live albums of the 70s on top of it. So yeah, that's a great choice. Name a better amp for $2,700 than the Lave HP2A. I don't know. I haven't done enough comparison in that price range. I would say the competitors at that price range would be definitely the Ferrum Stack. There's some shit products that would probably be worth a listen at that price, and Burson. Those are the three that come to mind that would be competitive in that. That might be competitive to the Lave. Just my thoughts off the cuff. You can also get some killer woo stuff if you wanted a tube sound. Gil Renard says, we've all heard, but I guess Keith Jarrett's The Colm concert belongs there. Genesis 3 Sides Live, another one. Damn. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's classic. That is a classic. Good call, Neff. All right, let's get into some of these boxes now. So I'm going to go to the overhead camera. I'm going to open some stuff. First one should be fun. I kind of have a better idea of what this is. This first one. Let's find the camera. Find your light. Let's take a look. Oh, nice. It's a coffee mug. Look at that. Beautiful. Little DG logo on the side. Kind of hidden, but this is your main. This is where it is. Look at that. That's nice. Good size too. All right. So we got a coffee mug, guys. Got a coffee mug. Let's put it like that so you can kind of see it. Arrange it. We'll do some arranging. All right, next up, let's take a look at that. Take a look at the next one. This might be an alternate hat. That's my best guess. Yeah, it is. Oh, this is a darker hat. All right, and this is with the smaller logo. All right, fellas. So we got a large logo hat, and then the smaller logo hat. I think. I don't know. Let's do a live comparison. Oh, this one's got a fancy snap on it. I kind of like it more. You got that versus this. Votes. Let's say this. Can I put a vote? I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna put up a poll. Let's do a poll. Start a poll. Small or large logo hat? Small, large. There we go. Something for you guys to do. Small or large logo hat. Here's the large. Here's the smaller logo. Here's the... and then both have the Music is Life stitched. I like this darker color. I thought this was going to be a full black hat. It's nice. This is nice. Oh, and they feel good. Quality is there. I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now. This is great. Really like the hat. Good quality, comfortable hat. All right, so let's go back to our camera here, and got two hats, large and small logo. Very good. Let's dig into something else. I think now we're getting into some clothing. This has the clothing feel. You don't want to rip anything and hurt it. All right, what's this? All right, we have next contender for a polo. Oh, the smaller polo. This is a silkscreen polo. No, 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 no. It's by Jerseys. I think the cut of this is great, but boy, does this ever need to be... This is a silkscreen logo. This needs to be stitched. This might be the solution on the polo, though, boys. I'm gonna have to try this on when we get offline. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna be doing any modeling live on television, on the internet, steer. I will not strip down for your delight, boys. But this has got that cross hatch that I like of the other one. It's a little better quality. There's a stitching around the collar, which I really appreciate. The only thing is that it's silk screened, and this needs to be stitched. This will not go as a silk screen. I will not put out a silk screen product on a polo. I do like the sleeves on this better. I like the cuff. The other polo. This is the original one, has no cuff. See how... can you even see? There's no cuff on this. It's just kind of folded over fabric. This one has an actual cuff on it. I much prefer this. This is my leading polo, but I've got to figure out if I can get this logo. This logo must be stitched or it's not going to fly. I will not do a silk screen on a polo. That's going to suck. That is defeatist. So back to the drawing board. Oh shit! Let's get the thing off. How long has that been up? So we've got a winning polo, but it needs to be stitched. I mean, that's how all this is. You order, you ask for a demo, you order it, and sorry, I got to answer it real quick. And then you look at it, and then you decide what you're going to go with. I still think, for me, I'm a fan of the smaller logo myself, but I will go with whatever chat wins. That's what I'm going to sell. Maybe I could sell both. It's really 50-50. Is it really 50-50? Are we that divided in our hat sizes? Are we that divided? Really, fellas? This is and is You'll be able to get both colors, by the way. Both colors will be available. The question is what logo size? And I think I'm leaning towards the smaller logo. I think it's better. It's not too small, but it's not too obnoxious. And pulling aside, both have the stitched "Music is Life" on the back of them. One last package here to open. Let's get to that, and then and this is probably going to be t-shirts, because now that we got an alt polo, I really like that polo though. The new polo design. That's the best polo I've seen yet. So that's probably going to be our winning polo, but it needs to be stitched. I need to make sure they can stitch it. Okay, what do we got here? This looks like, whoa. This is another t-shirt variant that is not going to work for me. Little too large on the logo on this thing. I got to figure out where I ordered this from. Nice back. Music is Life on the back, but no, not. I like this is a much better. Too much, too obnoxious. Look, obnoxious, not obnoxious. Obnoxious, subtle. Subtle, for sure, is the answer. This is a long sleeve, though, which has the larger logo in it. This might be a winner. It's from Lane 7. I don't know. Maybe I go with the smaller logo on all this stuff. I prefer the smaller logo. This is the long sleeve, though. Is there any other specialty about this? It's got a director's garage on the. Oh, this one does not. This one does have the director's garage logo on the neckline. But I've got my 2 t-shirts already. I'm good for that. The long sleeve, I'm thinking I need to put the smaller logo back on this stuff. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Large hat logo takes a slim lead. Oh, guys, come back with me on this. We need some small voters. Get the small thing. So that's all the merch that we're still continuing to amass, and I'm going to do this. I just think it's fun to show it off, to open the shit together and go through it. The wins of this, for me personally, the win of this lot is I love this hat. I think this hat is the winner. Myself, maybe I'll offer a large logo hat just to keep you guys happy, but my inclination is that this is a more attractive, in person, this is a more attractive hat to me. And I love, what a nice coffee mug. That's fun. That's fun. Hidden director's garage, like not too obnoxious. That's a win. That is a win, my friends. Still working on getting, I'm not going to, where can you buy it? Let's talk about this stuff. There's going to be a website, directorsgarage.com, coming soon. It is not up and functioning yet. It will be at some point. Yes, there will be a website dedicated to selling just these products. And they're all going to be wrapped around this headphone logo and the phrase "Music is Life." And then there will be a few items available that have the Director's Garage, logo like this. I'm not loading this up with my own personal branding. Although this is, I guess you could say, well, you're developing a brand in this, but I don't think that tying the show into this is the way to go. I think there are a lot of people in the hobby who just want to kind of subtly go, you know, this is me, and this is my way of doing it. So I'm excited about this line, and I hope you guys are too. I hope it does well. Okay, so where do we leave off? Love the mug, Neil Snyder. Cheers, brother. Where do you go to sell your gear? Well, there's going to be a website, and it's coming. I'm not there yet. It's coming. I want to have all the gear worked out. I want to have samples of this stuff. I just want to quality control the crap out of this, because if I'm asking you to support this channel by buying merch, I want the quality to be top grade, and I want to ensure that you're getting great stuff, and the stuff that I would wear myself, that I feel comfortable with. I love this t-shirt. This is a world-class t-shirt, and I'm picky. I'm picky about this stuff. I'm not a fashion plate, guys. I'm not. But there's stuff that I like, and there's reasons that I like it. So I'm willing to like. My favorite t-shirt in the world is a Banana Republic crew neck polo, or a crew neck Banana Republic t-shirt. It sells for $40 a piece. $40 for a t-shirt, which makes my mind melt over price. However, I still have t-shirts from 20 years ago, whereas t-shirts will rip apart and break down in no time. This stuff is made well. It feels good. It's stuff I want to wear. So I'm very cognizant of like giving you guys value above anything else. These are t-shirts that are going to last. You're going to want to wear them. I want to wear them. I'm enjoying the hell of it, out of designing these things, and we're getting it. We're getting there. So it's going to go up, and I'm going to probably expand stuff. I may go up with some of it shortly, and then just to get some stuff rolling out. But because I do feel like the hats are there, and I feel like the t-shirts are there. I want to get the polo ironed out. Sorry. Jesus. I should wear this just like be obnoxious now. I should get the t-shirts and the polos ironed out. Need to tweak the long sleeve shirt logo smaller, and you know, the little things. But it's getting there. We're getting there. We'll have it there. Darker hat. I agree, Neil. You and I are both fashion templates, and I believe that we should be in charge. I need a coffee mug in my life. I'll support you. Love the hat. I think I like the bigger logo. Oh, you guys are killing me with the bigger logo. Supersize it, damn it. Small, but off to the right or left side. Off center? Ooh. Daring. Daring, I'm orange. If I can change my vote to large. God, we're getting a lot of love on the large logo. Okay. All right, fellas. I'll probably put both up. Costs. I haven't quite figured out costs yet. It's not going to be bargain basement crap. I also want to be. I'm still working on pricing. I will say this: it's not going to be outrageously expensive. They're not going to charge you $100 for a polo shirt. I promise you that. On the other hand, I'm not going to charge you $20 for a polo shirt. I can promise you that. It's going to cost me more than that to make a polo shirt. So price will be commensurate with the cost that it takes me to make this stuff. The t-shirts, I'm working very hard at. I'm probably in the 30 to 40 range-ish. If I can get it down under 30, I will try. But these are great quality t-shirts that are lasting under washings. I've been washing these things and they're lasting, and I do feel that they're of high quality, and I want to get a quality product out there. I'm not going to go nuts on prices, but I'm also not going to make it, it's not going to be a $20 cheap ass product. It's going to be a quality product. Anything I sell is going to be something that I would wear myself. I promise you that. 50/50, super helpful. I know, guys. It's really, it's in there. Yep, Ryan, that is the Goldilocks preference for me as well. Okay. Too small, too large. Kind of hard to see from this camera. All right, I'm doing the best I can on the camera. It's just, I've got a light and a camera pointing down, so that's what you get today for trying to show this stuff off. Retract your votes. Now it's getting ugly. Are the hats adjustable? Yes. Hats are adjustable. There's, they snap, and then there's a buckle that you can adjust the, let me show it on the overhead. Oh, Jesus. Jesus help me, Lord. There's a snap on the back. Show it. Snap on the back, and then this buckle is adjustable on this to make it the size you want. Very nice. Again, stitched, stitched, stitched. Going to be stitched. The t-shirts will be silk screened, but these are going to be stitched. So really working hard. Michael's going to be the next Calvin Klein. You know, I have one of my closest friends' name is Michael Klein, so it's kind of interesting. Director's Garage can be code for underwear model. Can I do some underwear? You know, music is life underwear. Oh, fellas. Oh, the other thing I did last week, which I should share with you guys, is I did not shave the entire week I was working on the garage. So by Friday of last week, I had a full-on beard. and the first 3 days, my wife was like, you know, kind of sexy, kind of like, I kind of like it. Like it's a gruff side of you that I never get to see. And by Friday, she's like, you look haggard, go shave. I wound up shaving on Saturday, going back to the bare skin. But I grew a full beard. It just was, boy, I was starting to look like an old seaman. Arr. Insert your jokes here, fellas. Insert your jokes here. So that's the merch line. And I have some fun stuff up there that I'm working on too. I actually have golf balls. You'll be able to buy headphone logo golf balls. I've got some thermoses that you'll be able to buy. The t-shirts, I've got a female tank top that's coming. That's going to be great. My wife wanted one, so I'm like, I'll fine. I showed her everything I can get her, and she chose one, and so I'm going to get that printed up. That'll be coming soon. And then all of this stuff will be available to purchase with, like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks delivery, I'm guessing. But stuff didn't take that long to get here. Just working out the kinks. I don't want to sell you stuff that's bad that I don't like. It's a really high quality, thick material, but boy, I hate the logo. Just too big, too obnoxious. I want tasteful, small, subtle stuff. This one isn't even as bright. The other t-shirt, it's actually came out brighter. But I really like the subtlety of this stuff. I'm really, I'm getting into it, and it's, I've been working for years trying to figure out how to do it and get it done for you guys. And then I've been working for months on designs and getting test products in, and nothing goes up before I see it sample, and get to check it out, because my worst nightmare is that you guys get something and you think it's shit. You think it's utter crap. and that won't stand for me. I can't have that. I want you guys to be excited about this stuff, and like, this is a really cool way to kind of be a part of the hobby, and in a subtle way that if you know, you know, and the stuff's got to be quality. I just want it to be quality. I want this to be stuff that you would wear, I would wear, and it's going to work out. So that's what I got for today, man. 4:35. We did 90 minutes today. You got anything else to talk about? Anybody got any more live records, anything like that? The poll was largely inconclusive. If I do maybe I'll do a hat page, and I can show off the 2 different hats, and then you can buy whichever one you want. Maybe maybe I can offer both. I don't know. Depends on what the hat volume is going to be. So much to figure out, boys. So little time. So that about does it for this week's live direction. I'm sorry I wasn't with you guys last week. I wanted to be here, but, you know, I was knee-deep in sandpaper, and polyurethane is the most painful thing to apply that I've ever done. Doing polyurethaning an entire garage door is dreadful. It's a dreadful experience. That stuff is thick. I tried thinning it out. I tried making it easier to spread. It was miserable to work with. I never want to go through that again if I don't have to. Peter Gabriel's live album. That's a good one. I remember that. It was early. It was before he did So, right? It was before he had his big comeback in the 80s, as I recall. It was really good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right, fellas. That's going to wrap it up for me. I want you to thank you guys for stopping by the Humpday Happy Hour Hangout live at the Director's Garage. And we'll be back with more stuff from JTB at The Wire. Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison. What a great live album. That is a great live album, man. Cheers, brother. I'll drink to that. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you before you know it. How about that?